Hello, everyone. Your professor is here, and I want to welcome you to our study of history of Christianity, Reformation to Modern. We'll be studying through the format we call the weekend hybrid, which is a great format for distant students or even on-campus students because we'll be using a traditional online format through the semester, but one weekend we're going to gather together so you can have FaceTime with each other, with your professor and guest teachers, and we'll have a good time together studying this excellent topic. Let's begin with talking about contact information. I'm Dr. Rex Butler. I am recently retired from New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary after 17 years on campus. My wife Margie and I moved to Tomball, Texas, and we live only a mile and a half away from our grandkids. And family is what retirement is all about. But I'm grateful for the opportunities that I have to stay in touch with NOBTS because I love that community. I love students and I love church history. And so I got my contact information there for you. The very best way for you to contact me is through my email address, which is there on screen and on your syllabus. Please feel free to write me at any time, ask your questions, make your comments. I'll reply as soon as I can. I do have my cell phone number there on screen and also on the syllabus. If you have a question that needs a quick answer, then feel free to call me, leave a message, and I will get right back to you. All right, we have one required textbook, which is by Justo Gonzalez. It's titled The Story of Christianity, and you're going to look for Volume 2, Reformation to the Present Day. I think you'll enjoy this textbook. Justo Gonzalez is very readable, and his textbook is one of the reasons why I chose church history as my field of study. There will be additional required reading from primary sources that are available on the internet. Let me say that there are multiple volumes of the story of Christianity. Whichever one you find will be acceptable to me. All right. We'll be gathering together on the Canvas Learning platform. And so you need to go online to your Canvas account. You'll be automatically enrolled. And there on Canvas, the first thing I would like for you to do is to post your introduction. Please introduce yourself. Tell me, tell your fellow students uh, where you live, what ministry are you involved in, what job are you doing? Tell me about your family, any hobbies that you enjoy doing, anything that you would like to share with us. I would like to know. And please post pictures. It's a way that I can connect to my students even from a distance. You'll be able to meet your professor there. I've posted several pictures and lots of information, maybe more than you want to know about me. But I also talk about my wife and my family and my grandchildren. And of course, you want to know about my grandchildren, right? Right. You'll also find out that I am a big fan of Marvel comics, and I usually find ways to work that passion into my church history lectures. All right. Also on Canvas, you're going to find course modules. And so the course is broken up into weekly modules, and each module has a to-do list, video lectures, bonus features, and then also at the appropriate time, you'll find a study guide, unit exams, and your weekly reading reports. So the course modules I've tried to organize in such a way that it's easy for you to follow what's due each week. All right, first let's talk about your unit tests. All right, this is we'll have tests 6 times during the semester. Your syllabus lists the unit test dates, and so at midnight. Before midnight, at the end of each date, your unit test is due. So mark your calendar. All right. If you miss the due date, you will not have an opportunity to make up that test. So be sure that the test dates are marked clearly on your calendar. Okay. Use your electronic calendar to help. All right. Let's talk about the unit tests. There are 6 of them. You will take them closed book, closed note, open memory. Okay, so you're on the honor system, but do not be using your books or notes during the test. All right. Uh, your test will be online for 25 minutes. So once you open up the test, the clock starts. It is timed. It will shut down at the end of that 25 minutes. So be sure that you save enough time at the end to review your questions. Be sure that everything is answered. All right. Each test has a base value of 25 points, but there are bonus questions that can increase the value of each exam. Don't think of this as extra work. Think of it as extra opportunities to earn some extra points on that test and for the semester. Now, this is very important information. Your lowest exam grade will be dropped at the end of the semester. Okay, this is good for you. If you forget to take a test, or if you have computer problems, if you go out of town for a D-Now or revival and it's not convenient to take a test that week, you can exempt yourself from one test during the semester. And then at the end of the semester, if you're satisfied with your first 5 exam scores, well, then you can exempt yourself from the 6th. Okay? So remember that out of the 6 unit tests, one score will be dropped, your lowest score. Okay, let's talk about the reading reports. All right, your syllabus has a reading schedule and it's divided up by weeks. Each week you'll have assigned reading, either in Justo Gonzalez and also the internet. Okay, so you need to estimate the percentage of the reading that you completed that week. The easiest thing to do is read all of it, and then you can click on 100%. You'll get 2.5 points each week. If it's not quite everything, well, then you can click on 80%, get 2 points. Or, I did just a little over half. That's 1.5 points, and so on. All right. I do want you to be sure and do your reading because I can't teach everything in my video lectures that I want you to know about church history. And Justo Gonzalez will fill in the gaps and give you a very readable resource about church history. Now, by the end of the semester, if you've read everything in your textbook, everything that I've assigned on the internet, then you can submit a bonus reading report and you'll get 5 bonus points. Okay, this is all or nothing. You either read everything or you did not. But if you do read everything, you'll get 5 points. So the reading schedule is included in your syllabus. All right. There are 2 written assignments. All right. These are very simple written assignments. There are 2 book reviews. The first book review is a review of a biography. Each student will read and review a biography of a subject that's located within the parameters of the Reformation and the modern era of the church. There are suggested biographies included in the selected bibliography at the end of your syllabus. Now, if you find a book that you like on the syllabus, go ahead and select it, secure it read it, and review it. You don't need my permission. Now, if you want to do a review of a book that's not on the syllabus, well, then you do require my permission to pursue that book, or you may not get credit for it. Okay? The book review of the biography is due on September 22nd. Take note of that date. That's only a few weeks into the semester, so you need to begin now to select, secure your book, read it, and review it. All right, the instructions are in your syllabus. All right, the second book review is a book review of a movement or an event, something that's broader, like the Anabaptist story or the Black Church. You'll find a list of books in your syllabus that are about movements or events located within the parameters of the Reformation and modern era of the church. This book review is due on November the 10th. All right, here's what a book review should look like. All right, first of all, the first line at the very top is the bibliographical entry. All right, do you know what a bibliographical entry looks like? You've got the author, you've got the title, you've got the publication information. Okay, then your very first paragraph is a brief biographical sketch of the author. This should only be a paragraph or so. Usually you can find that information on the back of the book or on the internet. And so some brief sketch. This is important because you need to know who your author is so you can recognize his or her bias, what is their background, what is their credentials, but this still needs to be brief. I don't want a lot of your paper taken up with the biographical sketch. The main part of your book review is going to be a summary of the contents of the entire book. All right. And this is important because you will be graded based on how much of the book you review. So be sure that you've read the entire book and you've reviewed the entire book. Now, your final part of your book review is an application point because I want you to be able to take what you've learned in reading and writing about this book and apply it to your life and ministry. So write an application point about the impact of this person's life and ministry on your own life and ministry. You might write about a sermon illustration that you'll use based on what you learned. You might write about how you have been inspired by this person, or again, about this movement. And then did you learn anything about how this could impact your ministry? Okay, there's more information for you in the syllabus, but these two book reviews are your only written assignments. These are not difficult assignments. All you have to do, read the book, review it, all right, submit it, and do so in a timely manner, and you will do well on these assignments. All right, Right Stuff is what we call the NOBTS Writing Center, and you can submit your writings to this center, and they will help you by telling you how to clean up your writing, how to correct grammatical spelling errors, and so on and so forth. And this will help your writing, it'll help your grade, and it'll also help me because it's always easier to grade a well-written paper. Okay, so use Right Stuff not only for this class, but for your other classes as well. All right, the heart of this hybrid course is a 2-day conference that's scheduled for October 3 and 4. So be sure and mark those dates on your calendar. Be very focused on those 2 dates. It's very important for you to be here and to participate in this weekend conference. NOBTS is rolling out the red carpet for our students who are visiting the campus, even those who live on campus, but primarily we want our distant students to experience what campus life is about. So there'll be a chapel service one day. There'll be several events planned and also some snacks and beverages provided. And so we look forward to having you on our campus October 3 and 4. The conference provides a unique learning experience for students studying the history of Christianity. So gather with your professor, your guest teachers, and your fellow students. But remember, attendance for the Prepare Here Weekend Conference is mandatory. You cannot pass the class if you do not attend the weekend conference. Now, I've invited some guest teachers to join me that weekend. On Friday, October the 3rd, my dear friend, Dr. Adam Harwood, who's professor of theology at the seminary, is going to teach about a topic he's given much of his life and research to. That's the spiritual condition of infants. And he'll focus on what were the ideas, what were the theologies of some of the reformers, like Martin Luther and John Calvin. So he'll be speaking on Friday. On Saturday, I have such a treat for you. Bart Barber was one of my fellow students at Southwestern Seminary back in the day. He and I have kept in touch through the years. He is pastor of First Baptist Church, Farmersville, Texas, but you may know him as the former president of the Southern Baptist Convention. I am so excited that I can introduce you to someone so prominent in our convention, someone who has been such a key player and leader in our convention, and he's looking forward to interacting with you. So he'll be coming and he'll be in class in person to talk about Baptist life. 100 years ago this year, 1925, the SBC created the cooperative program and composed the first version of the Baptist Faith and Message. And he'll be speaking about those two initiatives and the last 100 years. I'm sure he will leave some time for you to ask him questions about the Southern Baptist Convention. So I'm very pleased that he was willing to take his time to come to New Orleans Seminary and interact with my students. Well, I'll be there too, and I'm going to talk about God's election and human free will. How is it that we can harmonize these two different ideas that are both taught in the scripture? That'll be one lecture. And then on Saturday, I'm going to talk about the Jesus movement. All right, I tell my students that I know I'm old because I teach as history a movement that I was a part of. So we'll have a good time together on October 3rd and 4th. All right, there will be a reflection paper due following this weekend, 3 to 4 pages on one or more of the topics that we covered during the conference. The paper is worth up to 25 points. It's due on October 27th, just a few weeks after the conference itself. All right. I'm sorry, but I have to put on my ugly face now because I'm going to outline the expectations and requirements that you must meet in order to do well or even to pass this class. All right, so let's talk about some of the potential penalties that you want to avoid. First of all, as I just said, the Prepare Here Weekend Conference is mandatory. You must attend October 3rd and 4th. If you do not attend the conference, you cannot pass this class. There is no way to create an assignment except to make it brutal and punitive. And so you need to be sure and be here that weekend. All right. Unit tests and reading reports must be submitted by the date of the unit completion or every week. Because after the deadline, unit tests, reading reports will not be reopened. Do not ask me to reopen a test. Do not ask me to reopen a reading report because I will not do it. You must keep track of these due dates and be sure and complete them on time. But remember, one unit exam grade will be dropped. Okay, tardiness. I am very strict about punctuality. You must get your written assignments in on time. Any late written assignment will be assessed a 10% penalty. That's 6 points for your book review if it's submitted after the deadline at all. And after 5 days, that penalty is doubled to 20% or 12 points. That's more than a letter grade. After 1 week, the penalty will be so severe you don't even want to think about it. And no assignment will be accepted after 2 weeks past the deadline. So I am very strict about getting your written assignments in on time. So plan ahead and get them done. All right. Your written assignments are required. If you neglect to submit either book review, you will not pass the class. This is why this is called a requirement. Okay, it is required to pass the class that you do both written assignments. All right, plagiarism. I have a word for plagiarism. Don't. Just don't. A high standard of personal integrity is expected of all students at New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary. Any infraction will be reported to the Dean of Students for further action. So you can find out more information about the graduate catalog, but be sure when you submit your paper that it is in your own words and any quotes are properly marked with quotation marks and footnoted. Okay. So I'm going to put my happy face back on and let's finish talking about this class and this semester. All right, I want to talk about points and grading. There are many ways for you to earn points during the semester. By doing your weekly reading, you can earn 30 points. And again, you have the possibility of earning 5 extra points with your bonus reading report if you read everything. All right, tests 5 will be counted toward your final grade for a total of 125 points. But remember, each test has some bonus questions built in, so you can actually earn more points than that if you do well on each test. Okay, each book review is worth 60 points. Your reflection paper is worth 25 points. All right, so for a total of 300 points plus possible bonus points. And so here's how the grading scale works. If you earn 275 up to 300 or more points, you'll get an A. 255 to 274, that's a B. A C is 230 to 254 points, and so on. All right. And so remember that these assignments are not difficult. If you do them and do them on time, you will do well. I'm going to make a prediction right now, even before the class starts. Over half of you are going to make A's. Out of the other half, most will make B's. There will be a few C's and D's. But if you want to fail my class, you have to work at it. Okay, the only way you're going to fail my class is that if you're tardy, if you plagiarize, if you don't do your work, if you do it late, you will do poorly in this class. But otherwise, you will do well. I assure you. This class is very doable, and you will enjoy it. I hope. All right. Now, this is the fall, and you know that's the hurricane season. Oh, I hate to say that H word, but in case of an emergency, then you need to go to the seminary website for information that's related to the seminary, nobts.edu. And then check Canvas for instructions related to this class. We certainly hope for the best, but we want to be prepared for any emergency. All right. Well, I've surveyed the class, what to expect, the requirements and expectations, and I just want to leave you here with a picture of me visiting some of my reformer friends in Wittenberg, Germany, back in 2017 during the year of Reformation 500. I had the opportunity to travel to Germany and Switzerland and visit some of the spots made famous by the reformers. And I tape some videos on location, and you'll see some of these on Canvas as you look through the bonus features of this class. So again, I welcome you to our class. I have high hopes for our time together and expectations that will benefit from our study of the history of Christianity, Reformation, and modern. God bless.